Hey, it's Gina Page, president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. Let me know if this is AfricanAncestry.com that you're on, because yesterday I went live from my page instead of this page. Who knew? No one told me. Well, I think Ty was kind of trying to tell me. Anyway, welcome. Today is Thursday. It's April 30th. April is over. It is done. We are moving on into May, my birthday month. Shout out to all the Tauruses and welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Divine Beauty. You know how you know you're doing something right, but then something in the back of your mind is like, did I do it right? It's good to see you. Hey, Mary. Luckily, we record them, Mary, so everybody else will still get to see your amazing interview. I've gotten so much feedback about how powerful your story is. All right, Travelish, you're a Taurus. Leah, good to see you. Diana Ramsey in the house. Did you guys see Reverend Dr. Ramsey on Monday? She came on here to preach. Glad to see all of you here. So today, here at African Ancestry, we are having a conversation with an African Ancestry family member. Today's family member is Kevin Jones, and he's going to be on here to talk to us about his African Ancestry experience. For those of you for whom this is your first live, welcome. We've been doing this every day since March 27th here at 5 p.m. African Ancestry is the pioneer of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people around the world. And we are on a mission to transform the way we view ourselves and the way we view Africa. And we do that through DNA. Chazelle's in the house, Cowrie Shell's in the house. Everybody who you all see on here is representing with us every day for Africa, for our African roots. Being African is just part of who we are. And the more that we engage with who we are on all levels, the better off we are. And so our contribution to that self-improvement is to help you find the present day country in Africa and ethnic group that you share ancestry with. So we're not going to tell you all the different things that make up who you are. We're not going to tell you what percentage of something you are. That's not what we do. If that's what you want, I'm glad you're here and I want you to share in the conversation, but that's not what our tests do. Our tests get specific. And so if you're looking for the people that you came from so that you can explore the traditions and the values and the beliefs and the cultural practices of those who came before you, then you're in the right place. So today we're going to be talking to Kevin Jones, and I know he's up here. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Listen, you just don't know. You never know who's going to come on when you go live. And it is such an encouraging feeling to see familiar names. I don't know your faces, not all of you, but I truly appreciate you being here and chatting it up with each other. From what I can tell, you guys be having your own conversations. I don't even know if you're listening to us, but you have your own conversations, which is great. Shout out to Ty, La Vie Afrohem, who's holding it down for us on the comments. All right, so let's see if I can get Kevin Jones in here. Kevin, I think you're fabulous, Matt Core. I met Kevin. I don't think so. This is not like I'm talking to somebody who's an old friend. And I'm looking forward to seeing his. Oh, he needs a drum roll. He needs his silent drum roll. Shout out to Will Calhoun, drummer extraordinaire. He's much better than, he has a technique. Clearly, I'm not a drummer. Okay, fabulous Matt Core. My arms are getting tired. Let's see. While we're waiting for him to come in. Volt's in the house. Fit and Orders in the house. Black Travel Brand. That sounds interesting. What's that? Kimberly, hello. Travel-ish. Silver Kim. Naya Mende. Hello, Naya Mende. Thank you for being here. Kevin, we're waiting for you. I don't know. Let me see what if it just says waiting for fabulous Mac Core. I'm pretty sure that's his yeah, I was right. Okay. Yeah, Diana, we are way too familiar because I'll be going to turn off my rice and coming. We've had Morocco in the house. I wonder if Ziga will be here today, joining us from Morocco. But we got Wusa 420 is here. Do you all have any questions for me? Seeing all these new names and faces. Thank you for being here so much. And let me know if you have any questions while I'm waiting. Mui Bell, what's up, girl? Hey, I don't know that Diana, it said Black Travel Brand is on here. So Mecca Hall is here. No questions, huh? What y'all want to talk about? Okay, I need to have my Ty, you need to give me some backup topics. Let's talk about Mother's Day. Oh, we can always talk about African ancestry. Let's talk about Mother's Day. It's coming up May 10th. Have you gotten a Mother's Day gift for a mother in your life? If you're thinking about what to get a mother in your life, your mother, your grandmother, your wife, your partner, I got an idea. How about an African Ancestry test kit? How about an African Ancestry matriclan test so that you can trace her mother's line all the way back 500 to 2,000 years? And we're having a sale. So everything on our website is 10% off. Pendants, heirloom pendants, journals, personalized certificates for other family members, and of course, the test kits. We also have a family celebration package. So in that, you get 2 kits, a matriclan and a patriclan, plus you get 6 additional certificates. So once the results come in, we'll make additional certificates for family members, and 4 t-shirts. We have all these country of ancestry t-shirts: Burkina Faso, Bioko Island, Cameroon, Ghana, Gabon, Angola, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia. So you can rep any one or all of those countries. Omar, okay, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So if you go to the link in the bio, you can go straight to our shopping cart and pick out a gift for your mother. Really nice pendant. We have really nice pendants, all those kinds of things for her. Okay, let's see if we can get Kevin Jones back on here. Mel Essential, that's a cool name. Have the speed of the results been affected by COVID-19? Yes, the speed of the results has been affected by COVID-19. You get them faster now. Imagine that. One positive outcome. So normally at African Ancestry, we send hard copies of the results because the people who take our test enjoy keeping these documents with their other important family documents. Some people shrink them down and laminate them and carry them in their wallet. But given the quarantine, we are now emailing the results in the interim. Once we can be back in the office and have a full staff to prepare the results for you, we will mail them out. But yes, people are getting their results even sooner now because of COVID-19. That's a pivot. We were forced to pivot. Kevin sent another request. Okay, I'm sorry, I've been talking. A travel brand t-shirt company. You all know I love Black business. I am a Black business. I'm in the business of being Black. So shout out to Black Travel Brand. Check them out for t-shirts. Do you know if there have been any studies? Oh, you asked this before, I think, Komapa. We have not tested very many Cape Verdeans, but I do know historically that the Cape Verdean community was made up, I'm almost positive, of Portuguese men, and then they brought in African women from countries like Senegal. And so, but we haven't had a lot of people who've taken our test. My maternal ancestry is shared by the Fulani people living in Nigeria today, my mother's line, and my paternal ancestry, father to father to father, goes back to the Hausa people living in Nigeria today. So those are my 2 maternal and paternal lines. But you know, we're tracing lineage. So I have other family members who have taken tests, And I actually know 7 of my 8 great grandparents' lineages. 4 of them are Nigerian, 1 is Angolan, 1 is Liberian, and 1 is Portuguese. Both, I saw your order for a pendant today. All right. What determines 500 to 2,000 years? So we know that those are the ages of the lineages that are in our database. We have a database. It's called the African Lineage Database, and it's a compilation of over 33,000 indigenous African lineages from populations across the continent, primarily West and Central Africa. And so by working with anthropologists and historians, Dr. Kittles, when he compiled that database, was able to know that the age of those lineages is 500 to 2,000 years. So we don't tell you 500 or 2,000. We just give you the range. There's a lot of statistical variation that occurs in shorter time periods, and so we don't want to confuse things. Martez Gerard says, I'm interested. Hey, click the link above and get some more information. We have a quiz. There's a Find Your Tribe quiz in that link. And so that's a kind of a cool way to explore what kinds of things you have in common with other African ethnic groups. And that'll get you going. Child Rebel Soldier, how long does it take for the results to come back? It takes about 8 to 10 weeks. I know Hill in the house. We got to get you back on here, Mr. Hill. Oh, okay. So Mayaka wants to know, I've been wanting to order this for so long to find out who I am. Why so expensive? Well, Mayaka, you know, other people ask me, is that all it costs? So I think, you know, the price is relative to the value. And many people who take this test believe that it's invaluable. Some of the things that we suggest to help you get a test sooner would be, 1, we offer the Affirm payment option. And so when you go to AfricanAncestry.com to purchase your kit, you can choose to pay using Affirm. And if qualified, make your payments in 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month payments. That's one way. Because this test is a lineage test, the results are the same for so many people in your family, on your maternal line, for example. So everybody who comes from your grandmother will share the same results as you. And so families often pitch in. One person takes the test, but everyone gets to share in the results. It really is just a matter of the value that you assign to this. But what one person finds is so expensive, another person would say it's invaluable and worth far more than the price. The other thing I'll say to you, Mayaka, I hope I'm not saying your name wrong, is that we offer something that no one else offers. So if you're looking at us in comparison to other DNA tests, we aren't other DNA tests. In fact, we're not just a DNA test. The other companies are going to tell you that you're African, and you already know that. So there's a level of specificity that comes with this test that's rooted in over 12 years of research. And yeah, so I encourage you to maybe explore one of those options, and it may be helpful. They may be helpful. And then again, we're having a sale right now. So every kit is 10% off. I hope you're able to join the family soon. Hey, Vicky, good to see you. No, Chazelle, I don't know about them. Leah, when are your results due? Brazil in the house. Hola. I know how to say thank you. Obrigada. That's how you say thank you, right? In Portuguese. Okay. Well, now Barry Payton's in the house. I'm trying to find Kevin's thing. April 20th. Black Travel Brand. Are you a mother? Ty, you need to be catching these people. So that maybe we can reveal. We're doing some live reveals of mothers next week. So if you guys want to get in on that and your results are in queue, you should give us a DM. Through both my parents could have 4 results. Yes, you could have 4 results. I don't really understand that question. But your mother has a maternal and a paternal line. Your father has a maternal and a paternal line. So based on 4 different tests, you could get 4 results. Could you get 4 results for one lineage? Sometimes we see lineages that are shared among people living in Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, because they're all so close. Thank you so much. If you've already taken a test, if you have your mitochondrial DNA, then yes, we can help you. I'm still looking for DJ One Love in the house. Hey, hey. I don't see Joseph Myers on here, but he's my fellow DJ. Okay, I'm trying to find my friend Kevin. I'm looking for his requests. Bear with me, you guys. No, you can't. We can't use raw data from those other companies. Sorry. They look at different DNA than we do, different parts of the DNA than we do. And if you've done them, then you might as well come on over here and take our test. Spread the love. Okay, so Kevin Jones, I can't seem to find your request. I'm looking. So tell me what you guys got going. This is hilarious. I don't know. Okay, DJ One Love, are you presentable? While I'm waiting to see another request from Kevin Jones, I want to pull in somebody I know. Let's see if I can pull you in. It helps to have your friends watch your live so that you can move quickly on your feet. Let's see if he's going to come in. The last time I tried this, Wayne Bruce, he was so fancy, he wouldn't come in. He wasn't presentable. Ah, okay.
Hey.
What's up, Jamal?
What's up?
DJ One Love, how you doing?
I'm all right. I'm down here at New Vegan.
Oh, they're open?
Yeah, in College Park.
Oh, the College Park one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting for my food. What's up, family?
So, One Love, tell us what it has meant to you to know where you're from in Cameroon.
Cameroon, part of the Tikar people. It's been 5 years since my test, and it's been amazing. That's just the best thing I can say about it. It's helped me so much in understanding my roots and where I come from and completing my knowledge and my history of who I am as a people.
Nice. We do this 3-word association. I'm gonna give you 3 words and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
I was supposed to do that first, but I was so excited to see your face. Africa.
Home.
DNA.
Legacy.
Identity.
Me.
Nice. So DNA and legacy, that's the first. I haven't heard that one before. What makes you think of legacy when you hear DNA?
Because DNA is how we trace ourselves, and it goes back to the existence of our species. And so with that being said, I think when I think of DNA, I think of everybody along that strand that preceded me, men and women, boys and girls and so forth. And like, for example, me knowing that I'm Tikar, and you were able to bring the brothers from the Cameroonian embassy to help me with my announcement. I learned so much about the Cameroonian people and their greatness and how creative they were, and me being an artist, visual artist, a DJ, and TV and radio show host and so forth. It explains so much to me. But that's legacy right there, because my people prior to that were doing the same thing. So that's why I think of legacy when I think of DNA.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Listen, what are you about to get from New Vegan?
I'm about to give me some vegan drummies.
Do they have any cinnamon rolls?
No, they don't. They're limited because of the corona, so it's all carry out right now.
Yeah.
So they have, it's limited. They didn't have the cinnamon rolls. I think they only do those on the weekend now for like the brunch. Why,
Okay,
you want
good.
some?
I'm addicted to those cinnamon rolls, so I'm glad they don't have them because I might have left the live later and gone and gotten one. So good.
I could check and
No,
see.
no, 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 no. You already said no. That's fine. That's fine. Well, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. I'm gonna see if I can get Kevin back on now.
Absolutely. Good
All
luck.
right. Enjoy your dinner.
There you go.
Take care.
All right.
All right, y'all. Let's see who else we got on here. Kevin, I was trying to pull you in, and it doesn't show me. So I know that we have some Instagrams working against us right now. Okay, Joffrey says the T-car people are really popular. So the T-car is one of the groups that we find the most often, and because Cameroon is one of the countries that we find the most often. Within Cameroon, we find the T-car, the Bamaleke, the Hausa, the Fulani, the Iwando. We also find people in Nigeria quite often. One of the countries we find the most often. The Yoruba, the Fulani, the Hausa, the Igbo. And then in Sierra Leone, the Mende and the Temini and the Limba people. The Limba we don't find as often. In Guinea-Bissau, we got the Balanta, those who resist. We got the Jola, who are very musical. We've got Fula people. I'm trying to think. Then, of course, Burkina Faso is always in the house with the Bisa and the Mosi. And look, I'm drawing a blank now on all these groups. But let's see. No, I'm not T-Car. I'm not T-Car. Yeah, the cinnamon rolls at New Vegan. Shout out to New Vegan. It's a vegan restaurant. They have 2 locations here in the DC area. Joffrey, I like that. When I think of DNA, I think of us being the progenitor of all races. That is just a fact. Listen, you don't want to talk about a sweet tooth. I have a really good friend, Marie Johns, and she's an outstanding baker. And we just were catching up to see how each other were doing. And I was like, are you making any cakes? Can I do a curbside drive-by for my cake order? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's try this. I think we're going to get Kevin this time. I'm feeling lucky. It says unable to join. Okay, all right. Who else we got on here? Yes, Chadwick Boseman is Limba. We find the Limba in Central African Republic. What up from Florida? All right, Florida in the house. I hope you guys are having good weather because here it's rainy and a little cool. Yes, these groups are currently in different countries in Africa. Shout out to the Akan and the Fanti people in Ghana. What do I have to say about Africans that say we are not Africans because we didn't grow up there? It's something I'm struggling with. Well, King Kamani, here's the thing. You know how we didn't ever learn anything positive about Africa? We learned that they were, we think of poverty and disease and corruption and no running water. Of course, they don't have cities and animals are roaming the street. All these negative stereotypes. They get the same ones they get negative stereotypes about us. We're lazy, we're drug dealers, we're hoes, what they see in rap videos and stuff like that. The whole purpose of slavery was to disconnect us from our power. When we were taken, they suffered. When we were taken, we suffered. And while we had the system of slavery here in the Americas and the Caribbean, they had a system of colonialism that is still quite pervasive in countries across the continent. And so you just have to give them grace, because just because we weren't born there doesn't mean we don't come from there. And that is not a common, every African doesn't believe that. The more Africans than not see us as their brothers and sisters that were taken. and are anxious and inviting us to come home. And so, you know, I wouldn't struggle with it. Those aren't the people that you want to be connected to if they have the attitude that you are not African. I mean, it's just silly. It's foolishness. Your DNA goes back to Africa. We were taken from Africa. So it's just that simple as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Barry, that's okay. You can call me Karen. I don't mind being mistaken for a T card. That's a compliment. One love got me a cinnamon roll. Oh, now I gotta work out. Okay. Oh, we got the man Dinka from Toronto. I'm glad Toronto is in the house. Hey, that vintage barber. I love that. You know, I love that name. Is this the president of African Ancestry? Heck yeah, this is the president of African Ancestries. And I probably just should have said, for those of you who don't know, I'm Gina Page, president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. I come to you every day. I've come to you every day since March 27th at 5 p.m. to have a conversation with an African ancestry family member. It's very important for us as we are on this mission to transform the way we view ourselves and the way that we view Africa, that you hear about the African ancestry experience from the people who have gone through it. I actually have never taken a DNA test. My mother took it, so I didn't have to. My father took it, so I didn't have to. So my African ancestry experience is based on what I've heard you tell me. And I thought this month would be the perfect opportunity, since we're all at home. Well, most of us are at home. We have this time that we're spending more time on Instagram and Facebook and other platforms than we probably ever have, for you to hear it from other people like you who actually have taken the test. And so it's a pleasure for me to be here. And D-Lec 4000, thank you for joining us. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to get you on here though, Kevin. If we don't make it today, we're going to definitely reschedule this and troubleshoot to make sure that,
Hello.
There we go. Everybody, here's Kevin Jones. We've been going back and forth, accepting, trying to accept, trying to connect. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
And for being persistent and not giving up.
Absolutely.
So let's start with the word association. I'm going to give you 3 words, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Don't say what DJ One Love said, okay? No, I'm just kidding. You can say whatever you want. All right. Africa.
Breathtaking.
DNA.
History.
Identity.
Love.
Very, very nice. The breathtaking kind of took my breath away. Now, what makes you associate breathtaking with Africa?
So a couple of years ago, I took my first trip to the continent. We went to Johannesburg, my family and I, and I mean, immediately, that was my first reaction. It was simply breathtaking.
Yeah. You know, I went to Johannesburg for the first time last year. And when we stood on the curb outside the airport waiting for our ride, I felt like we could be in Chicago right now. We could be in LA. We could be in New York, DC.
Yes.
Did you have that feeling?
Absolutely. It immediately felt like home. No question about it.
So for people who have this misconception of Africa, that it's all rural and, you know, villages and animals, you owe it to yourself to Google Johannesburg and other cities, but since we're talking about South Africa today, and look at just how contemporary that city is.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no other explanation that you can give for it, because it immediately felt like I was born and raised in Memphis. So it immediately felt like I was in Memphis to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
wonderful. So tell us about your path to African ancestry, Kevin. How did you come to take the test, and what did we find?
Sure. So I've been researching family history for going on maybe 15 years now, maybe a little longer.
Wow. Wow.
And back in 2008, I've been seeing the advertisements for African Ancestry, Oprah, and a lot of some of the celebrities that had taken their DNA. So I said, hey, I didn't know much about at the time about my father's side of the family, the Jones side. And I said, let me start there. And I did the Patrick clan.
Uh-oh. What did we
And
find?
well, right out the gate, I was anticipating, and that it basically told, and the result or the test kit basically said that, hey, we're finding at least 30% of the black men in America have European lineage. It's like, I said, I put money on it. I'm probably in that 30%, and it was. My results came back Spain and Hungary.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
that was the Hungary part really tripped me out, but that's okay. I said, hey, maybe there's some royal lineage in there, some kind of place, but I don't know. But that's what it ended up being, and it just triggered, even more motivation to find the rest of my history, my identity. So I've
Now,
been driving from there.
when you were doing family research, was the fact that you had done 15 years of research, did that help you accept the European result more easily? Because I'm telling you, a lot of times when men get that European result, they are just hell bent on this is absolutely wrong and impossible. But I suppose that since you're a researcher, it may have made more sense to you.
It did for me with my grandfather. My dad's dad, he died when I was 11, and so what it confirmed for me was that's where those green eyes came from.
Ah.
Yeah, green eyes. So I was like, okay, let me understand this a little bit more, and it expounded from there, for me.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been my fabulous four, which are my grandparents, my dad's parents, and my mom's parents. That's what I call them. I've been going back and forth between all four of them, and I've dug up a whole bunch of stuff and discovered
Nice.
a lot of things. So that's what that uh, instilled in me, and it motivated me to just keep going. And the rest is history.
So can you tell us what kinds of tools have you used to do your family research?
Sure. I do a lot of it. I signed up for an account with Ancestry for some time now, at least 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to the different state archives, specifically Mississippi, some in Tennessee, but um, I've used Family Search, which is, the Church of Latter-day Saints library out in Salt Lake, as well as their actual website. So I kind of stick with those things where I find a lot of information. Of course, that brings up census records and um, down to family pictures and talking to
Wow.
my elders, and um, I had a chance to do a video with my great grandmother, but I didn't get a chance to film it. But I've interviewed her and talked to her, her sisters that were living at the time, which they've now passed on in the last say 8-9 years, but just a combination of all those tools and conversations with my elders, even my uncles and great uncles and great aunts, have helped me to kind of get to the point where I am, and I'm just scratching the surface, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I tell everybody, people like you who do genealogy research and who are hardcore researchers, you all do the hard work. That is not easy, going through all that data and uncovering and, looking at trying to figure out, well, the name may be spelled with an S here and not an S there, but let me
Well,
follow this line to see. It's just,
absolutely.
it's amazing. It's amazing work. So now, you only taken the Patrick clan test? Have you taken any other? Have you traced any other lines of your family with
Yeah.
us?
So my father has one sister, and so my aunt, I asked her to take the Matriclan, and so we did. That was a couple of years ago, and her results came back, or those results came back as Tuareg Mali. So
Wow.
that was cool. That was good to know. And I immediately told my folks, I'm like, hey, see, Mansa Musa, we're descendants of
Yeah.
that. And of course, my older sister, said, hey, that just confirms that she always believed that she was from Atlantis. So she's like, yeah, they discovered that close to Mali. And so she's riding with that when I said, whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever keeps that crown on your head as a queen. But then recently, my wife and I, we just ordered Matriclan test for ourselves. So about 3 weeks ago, lab confirmed that they received it. So I'm figuring the next couple months we'll know those results too. So
Another drum roll.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Oh, I am too. So listen, I was gonna offer you a Matriclan test because I felt like, oh, he does all this research. But I'd like to offer you all a reveal. So if you all are interested in having a reveal, I would love to do that for you.
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. So we'll work. Ty will coordinate with you to. We'll keep an eye out for your results because, as I mentioned earlier, we are sending them digitally now, and
Nice.
so I want to make sure we don't get them to you before the reveal, and then there's no reveal. So Kevin, tell us how this. Well, you have told us how tracing ancestry has impacted you. You said it motivated you to do more research within your family, and your sister is certainly hyped up about her Atlantis
Yeah.
connection. But what would you say to people about why it's important to know where you're from in Africa?
I I say it at least once a week that it's very important to simply know who you are. You don't walk around feeling like, hey, oh, that guy, oh, he's speaking Spanish to his daughter, or she's speaking Russian to her son. You wonder like, wonder what my language was, or what did our people, what did my great 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 grandparents or whomever, what did what language did they speak? We can't connect with that, and I wouldn't. Some people say gives them an empty feeling. It kind of still angers me, to be honest with you, but it makes me more curious to discover it. And I know that organizations like yours, like African Ancestry, are out there that have given myself and everybody in the world a means to determine and find that out, along with all these other places, the archives and the census and all the records that are out there. So you can't sit back. No one should be able to. No one should sit back and say, "Oh, I wish I knew who I was and where I was from, or where my granny and grandpa was from." You don't have any excuse to do that now, because there's so many means, and there have been for some time, but there are way too many ways to figure that out. I will tell you a story. When I
Yeah.
was second grade, Alex Haley visited my elementary school. He
Oh,
was
wow.
he was a speaker, and he talked about roots. So the curiosity for me was back then, like, how'd you find that out? So I'm on that same path to see if I can get to the level that he got to, based on the story that he gave. But that's where I'm trying to get to. So
Do
look,
you remember that? Do you remember being in the second grade and him coming and speaking? Can you?
oh, absolutely. I remember very, 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 very vividly, because my neighbor who lived two houses, or actually lived across the street, he was in the picture with her. He was in the first grade. I was in the second grade. So he's in the picture at my elementary school right now with Alex Haley. He took a picture of him at the lunch table and with some of the kids. And my neighbor across the street, Jason, was in that picture. So we talk about it like, dude, you were in the picture with Alex Haley. We didn't realize how big of a figure that was back then. But so there you go. It's like, this is all destiny. Let's go.
Wow. And someone comment Black the Black Love Boutique commented yesterday, when Mary was on, she'd met Martin Luther King Jr. when she was a little girl. Now you are on and you met Alex Haley when you were a little boy. That's incredible. Now, had you seen Roots?
Not
Had the movie come out yet?
no, it had just like I said, the interesting part about it was after that program, of course, my daily routine was I tell my mom, hey, this is what happened in school today. This is what we read about. This is what we did in math. I break it down to her. And I told her about that. And I remember her taking me over to my great grandmother's house. And she had the movie, actually, she had the book on her shelf by her television. And I saw it up there. I'm like, oh, that's the book. And it kind of went from there. So just a whole lot of curious moments kind of tied together and, pushed me to kind of, hey, let's figure this out. Nobody else wants to do it. I'll take it. Let's go.
That's amazing. Now, do you have children? Do you and your wife have children?
Yes, I have a son.
And so has your son shown any interest in family history?
Yeah, he's very curious about it. He likes stories. He told me yesterday, Dad, we've been doing Zoom calls with our family because of the whole isolation event. But we're gonna have one tomorrow, and part of the agenda is, hey, look, let's let the older generation and family members now, hey, tell us some stories, so these young kids in the family, two generations behind me, they can learn some of the stuff that I learned. Y'all told me all this stuff. Now tell them, and we can kind of trigger some conversation. But that's what he wants to get into. He loves family stories. He'll sit there and listen all night long.
That's awesome. And you can record those Zooms, right? Do you all record the calls?
Yes,
so now you'll have it for posterity, and everybody will be able to go back and look. Kevin, I'm so glad that we worked this out and that you got on here.
Yes.
You have the best story ever, and I appreciate you sharing that. You have a very varied experience because you have the genealogy side, and you have the genetic side. You have the experience of getting European results, and you have the experience of getting African results, and you're able to contextualize it in a way that makes sense to everyone. The hearts have not stopped going since you've been talking. So
that's awesome.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Everybody, I'm Gina Page, president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com, and I'm here with Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones in the house. One of our amazing African Ancestry family members who we're going to do a reveal for. So I'm excited about that. And we just had a conversation, and I want to thank you all for joining us. I know that there are a lot of ways that you could be spending your time right now, and I appreciate that you're spending them here with us. And I appreciate all the conversation that I don't get to see until I'm reviewing this later, because they have all kinds of chats going on, Kevin. Big up in you in a big way, in a major way. But I encourage everyone to please continue to be safe. You saw DJ One Love earlier. He had on his mask. Please continue to social distance and wear your masks and wear your gloves when you need to, and just do what you can to stay safe and keep all the rest of us safe so that we can make it through this thing together. We're a community, and we want everyone in the community to make it through. So until we meet here again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern with, I think tomorrow is my father.
Nice.
That'll be interesting to see my face and then see his face. But until we meet here again tomorrow, which will be the May 1st, tomorrow is May Day, I leave you with, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. I appreciate that.